Next, we'll take a look at how we can use the code interpreter to work with PDF and text documents as well. Earlier, we saw a plugin that would take a PDF and you could ask questions about it. It could, explain what was going on in the PDF. That was a third-party plugin. GPT-4 with the code interpreter can do all of that plus a whole bunch more. So I have a PDF document here of a draft of a bill in the U.S. House of Representatives, or the Senate and House of Representatives, about it's a long bill. I couldn't even tell you everything that it does, which is why I'm going to use it. But it's about creating new wilderness areas in Colorado for the most part, I believe, and protecting and creating new trails and mixed use areas. And it doesn't really matter. The point is, I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to feed this in. I'm going to start in a new code interpreter. I'm going to upload it. It's called bill.pdf. I'm uploading it. There we go. And then it's going to ask me what I want to do with it. And I could start simple. Can you provide me with a summary of the PDF? What is the document about? And it can do this pretty quickly. If we look at the code, it basically starts by extracting the first 1,000 characters from the document. So it writes Python code using a library called PDF File Reader, called PyPDF, and then it imports this thing called PDF File Reader. It reads the first 1,000 characters and then presumably summarizes it, and it tells us more about it. The bill is titled Gunnison Outdoor Resources Protection Act. It was introduced by a senator called Bennett. It adds special management areas, conservation areas, protection areas, and so on. The bill was read twice and then referred to a committee, and it wasn't included in the first 1,000 characters. So I asked ChatGPT what else it could do with this PDF. It says it can extract the text, summarize the content, get information about a particular page, get metadata, number of pages, search for specific words or phrases. Let's try that. Give me a summary of everywhere the word bike or biking appears. Maybe I'm curious about how this bill will impact mountain biking in the PDF. Oh, we got an error. I hit regenerate, seems to be working this time. As always, we can look at the code. So it's using regular expressions. This library called RE comes with Python, and it's looking for bike or biking. And, it did not find any. Interesting. It's probably too informal of a word, bike or biking. Let me try it again. But this time, I'll use cycling, bicycle, something like that. Let's do bicycle or cyclists. Let's try that. The words bicycle or cyclist appear in the PDF. And I think that should work. I assume this recreational area bill mentions cyclists somewhere. We'll see what we get. Okay, good. The use of off-highway vehicles and bicycles shall be permitted only on roads, trails, blah, blah, blah. The Secretary may permit the use of bicycles. The use of off-highway vehicles and bicycles shall be permitted only on roads. So it's working. Anytime it finds bicycles, I don't know if there's any cyclists mentioned in here or not, but it's going through the entire PDF and finding information. Finally, let's end with, let's just ask it to extract the text into a text file instead of a PDF. That makes it easier to work with later on if I have other code. Can you extract the full text and save it into a text file? I'll say txt file called bill.txt. Great. Hopefully that works. Here's our code. It's reading the file, so it's opening it. In write mode, it extracts it and then saves it into a new file called bill.txt. Let's download it and take a look. And here is the bill.txt file. Looks good to me, although it does include all of those annoying line numbers, right, that you can see here. So let's get even fancier and tell it to ignore line numbers if it can. Can you extract the full text and save into a file called bill.txt, but please do not include any of the line numbers in the saved output. That will make it easier to work with because, if we look at this, it's the accurate text, but it's so disjointed with all these line numbers in there. Remove the line numbers, saved it into bill without line numbers.txt. Let's download that and take a look. Perfect. It's working exactly as I intended. So with these sort of tasks, it can be really useful, especially if you're not a developer. But even if you are, this wouldn't be that difficult to do with some basic Python, but why bother? Especially if you have a bunch of files. You want to remove the line numbers and do something with a bunch of government bills for some reason. You can feed them all in as PDFs, turn them into text, extract the line numbers or remove the line numbers, and then perform some analysis or ask it to summarize or whatever you want to do with it. So just a simple example, but another interesting use case and a different type of data that we can upload. It doesn't have to be just a CSV file or a JSON data set. You can upload images. You can upload PDFs and text files, and we'll play around with video in the next video.